Marriage has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Giving has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Sexuality has been weaponized. For example, any woman listening to this can attest in our culture. Don't be no 30, 35-year-old single black woman and go to the family reunion. All the older women are going to do them. They're going to look at you and wonder, why you not married?
Where your man at? Where your kids at?
Like it's a prerequisite for identity and value that if you don't have a man, if you don't have kids, that something about you is broken. Do you understand how dysfunctional these messages are?
Yeah.
Paul said, but marriage is a necessary distraction. I have many friends that were in ministry at church, and the church has told them, if you're going to be in ministry, you can't be single. We're not going to let you work with the youth ministry if you're single. You can't do this if you're single. And so what people do, they quickly get married thinking that they're fulfilling God's will for their lives, but they are fulfilling man's dogma. You can be single and be used by God. You can be single and have purpose. Being married is not a prerequisite for God's hand on your life. It is not, but we've weaponized it. And then crucify people. Where my camera at?
Right there.
And then crucify people when those same marriages don't
fail.
Kirk Franklin's been saying marriage is weaponized in the Western. I don't know. I can't disagree with him. I can't, because it doesn't seem like they promote marriage no more like they used to. I don't think so. He's making it sound like they make it feel bad. I don't think they are. I think they're okay with the single ladies coming to the church and coming in and falling in love with the pastor. They over drooling over him, salivating over this man. And he's not even, he's got his first lady up there. She's trying to fight them heifers off. So, yeah, I think they're all for it because they know they could get multiple incomes with multiple ladies. They're going to bring their friend. They're going to act like it's a goddamn club in the church. They're going to have the questionable ass choir director. He going to be a girly man. He ain't part of it. So, it's all bad. It's all acceptable. They down with that bullshit. So, yeah. I think Kirk Franklin's right.
You say you think Kirk Franklin is right?
Yeah, I think they are weaponizing shit.
I don't think they're weaponizing it at all because ain't nobody getting married. So I have no idea how.
I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not as big of a deal anymore.
And again, this is why I say I think they are. Is because they trying to make you feel bad or trying to make you feel guilty in certain ways. Now, I'm talking about the old school churches. Now,
I mean, but hold on. Let's just stop at make them feel guilty, because to be honest, bro, it's not even guilty. It's like, hey man, what's up? You supposed to be on your shit. It's like if your woman taking out the trash cans, I'm gonna look at you like, hey bro, the fuck is going on? Like, you need to get on your shit. And that's where society is being fucked up. Is because we don't want to pressure people to being the best version of themselves. That's what's fucking shit up.
But Sean, we could say that the same thing. The pastor could say the same thing to John DeMajo. Why are you crying all the goddamn time? You need the man to fuck up. Stop crying all the goddamn time. Take out the trash. You understand what I'm saying?
Here's my thing.
And they say, hey man, find you a woman. You need to get married. You fucking 38, nigga. You ain't got no kids. You ain't got no woman. How long you been having sex? 20 years? You tell me you can't find one woman out of the billion out here on this earth?
On the real, and then on top of that,
you talking to me about how many hoes you got or whatever. I'm talking to this guy, whatever. You can't even fucking, you can't find one.
They got them. They just not trying to wife them.
But see, and that's the problem is, though, you got to look at it like this too. They don't shame them no more. They let these women come in here. They come into the church pregnant with no husbands. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's not even an issue no more. They had throw them a baby shower at the back of the church. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was you get knocked up. Hey, it about to be a wedding coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Right. But hey, now we got birth control giveaways at the church type. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Come on, man.
What church is Kirk Franklin a part of?
Who knows?
Not sure. That's something though. Probably have to research. Go ahead, M. White.
I think you're a part of First Methodist Pornhub.com. Dude should be giving nobody no damn advice about being sick. Is he married too? Ain't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he married.
For years.
He's Baptist, by the way. Kirk Franklin's Baptist.
Baptist. But okay. So Baptist. All right. I do think older women, people in the church will weaponize it against you. The same way they'll weaponize it against you if you don't have no kids yet. I don't think they do it enough. I think there's an amount of social judgment that should happen from people who have a relationship with you, not just random people coming up to you judging you, but people who you respect to have a relationship with you, where they can kind of nudge you, hey, like, what's going on? Why are you not progressing to this point in life? As far as there's cycles, like the portion of your life that's specifically supposed to be for you, for building or getting yourself together or being selfish, has a time, and it's a space for that. And then after that, there's another space where, in order for your lineage to exist, the millions of years of people come up to you, and then you just decide, you know what, I'm not gonna have no kids, I'm not gonna get married, and it just all ends at me. And in my personal opinion, I think that's kind of selfish. I get that there's reasons that people aren't married. Hopefully that you could be actively working on those things. But I think the church has turned into a place that's, and to appeal to a mass audience and get people in, they kind of went against some of the things they were supposed to stand for, and it led to the degradation of families and society as a whole. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, because you think you get more people by being more inclusive, but maybe that's the reason why you lost all the people.
You're trying to appease everybody, you know what I'm saying? And that's where it fucked up at, you know? Because, like, trust me, man, like, when you go out the country, and like, I've been to Dubai, which is a Muslim country to the bone, you know what I'm saying? And you could just see how, like, they operate, like men with their families, their wives there, their kids there, they all walking around, you know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, if one of them women would just show up pregnant, like, who's the daddy? I don't know, and all this shit, bro, you know, she getting fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like they have to set a standard when it comes to how they want to represent themselves. Because, you know, some countries, it's like, if you mess up, my daughter could see you and think that it's okay for her to have a kid, and they could do this, you know what I mean? And it's just like the shit just get passed down and passed down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the way the church is moving, it's like, man, I understand people could come as they are, but then it's like you have to step your shit up at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask, how many wives do you think we should be able to have?
5.
As many as we could pay for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all funny.
I mean, as many as you could afford, bro. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it does say that that men should get married in order to avoid sin. So you should be marrying these women instead of just sleeping with them.
Why can't you just be with one woman?
That's an option too. If you can do it. Yeah. Like saying you shouldn't
born into sin. What are you talking?
You said what?
We were born into sin. Once Eve allegedly bit that apple, each birth is into sin, and then we have to prove a life where we're living by the tenets of God. So you using that statement falls out.
Like, it says Corinthians 7:8. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it's good for them if they abide, even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it's better to marry than to burn.
That's burning what? Burning what? See, when you read something, you got to read forward and backwards. Okay, burning what? Because they are widowed. That was mentioned in what you just said, correct?
7:8. It's better for them. Where did it go?
You don't know what you just read?
I'm pulling it back up. I don't have this memorized. Do you?
Nah, but I know. No, I don't. But I glanced over it. But you using it as a talking point and it falls flat because you actually born into sin. Now you did mention something about widows, and if you could pull it right back up rather than just glossing it as a point, then it disappears into the ethos. That makes your argument fall flat because
How does the
as you knew it.
How does the argument fall flat that you're supposed to?
Because if you're widowed, and that
Yeah.
was something that you mentioned, that's no fault of yours. Are you supposed to burn in hellfire because your husband died?
No, it's about abstaining from sexual activity, bro.
Well, you're
Okay,
not
so-
married. Yeah, so I think that was more along the lines of, you know what I'm saying, to avoid fornication. You dig what I'm saying? You married a woman, bro.
Okay,
'Cause of
was
course,
Adam married
as
to
you
Eve?
said,
Was Adam
come
married
on,
to Eve?
marriage wasn't even a thing yet. Eve was made for Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like literally as his companion.
Mhm.
So it was like, you know, it wasn't. Marriage wasn't even a thing yet.
So now, well, when did the tenants start that was okay? Down in the Bible? No, the tenants were there.
It says that you should follow the law of the land. So if the law of the land is to be married,
I was waiting for you to repeat what you said back then. Did you find it?
oh, I stopped looking for it because the point was made. It didn't fall flat. It was very clear. The point was made.
This is the same way that I get it, Viz. This is the same way that I get it, Viz. I have to be very careful about what I say here. Even when I'm wrong or indifferent, you just can't just grab a point and glorify yourself with it. When you say a woman is widowed, okay, so it is looked better upon. A wife is widowed and she gets remarried, or a King Solomon who has wives and concubines. So he has whores on the side. That means he's not married to them. So now that's a conflict. Those women are his wives. He had how much wives and how many concubines? The concubines are what? So that's a whole contradiction. So that makes that statement falls flat.
Are you saying that now? Correct.
You know
me
what a
if I'm wrong.
concubine is? Before you start, do you know what a concubine is?
Yes.
Side piece.
I don't think any of us are ignorant to that. But the men of the church, correct me if I'm wrong. People who study the Bible. Just because somebody does something in the Bible, does that mean that that's actually something you're supposed to do?
No.
So, for instance, if a king has one wife and many concubines, does that necessarily mean that he's not living in sin? I'm just asking.
They're not saying when we were born. It's stated in Genesis that we were born into sin. I don't know exactly where I can pull it up.
So does it not matter if we sin or not if we was born into it? How do we absolve ourselves from that if we going by the good book?
They say pray, take a knee, and ask forgiveness for it with the whole
And
heart. But
that's what I'm saying. So if you want to avoid fornication, you should grab your wife, right? Ain't that what we was talking about, Marcus?
Yeah.
Just the wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, what we doing?
Okay, Laura, you married?
Yep.
You ever looked at a big butt woman?
All the time.
That's not your wife? You never thought about what you never thought about what you could possibly do to her?
I'm sure it's probably crossed my mind. What's the point in that though?
So you sinning. So stop being
How
up
does
on
that
that.
disprove what? Come on, Kenny.
Wait. If we using the Bible, isn't that coveting?
Does that have to do with that being a
I
sin?
also said I'm not religious, so I don't care.
So how are you using some as a clapback if you're not
think
religious?
it's coveting
I'm
another,
speaking.
I think it's coveting
I
another
said
man's wife. I don't think it's
Right.
just being attracted to women. I think you have to be looking
It's
for
a
someone
sin to look on another woman lustfully. Okay, since you want to be so
Another
technical,
man.
Mark, is it not a sin to look on another woman lustfully when you're married?
No, it's not.
Okay, Nelson,
It
thank you.
is.
You do know, y'all do know adultery is
Nice.
not even when it's a man on woman. It's actually was written for women, you know what I'm saying, cheating on their husband. That was actually adultery for married
And that is an absolute fact. Because
You know
when
what I'm
things are
saying?
translated from Hebrew, it's a different meaning. And if y'all want to look that up, y'all can. Adultery is when a married woman has sex with a man, and when a man
that's not
has
her
sex with a
husband.
married woman.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense that men will write that shit in the Bible and it be a law anyway. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like when I figured that out, I was like, I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like no man wants his wife to be messed with. You know what I mean?
But he
And
don't
then
mind
it's like
messing
you
with
don't
other
want
niggas'
your wife
wives.
to go fucking around with other dudes. But when it comes to hoes, oh, they open game. You know what I'm saying?
They for everybody.
It's their game. You
This
know?
concubines that Kitty was talking about.